What is going on, you guys? Today I have another episode for you where I'm going to be reviewing a YouTuber named Paul Lee, and the title here is Why He Left USA and Moved to Thailand. You should too. Let's get into it.
3 years ago, I was living in New York City and I moved all the way here to Bangkok, Thailand. So I'm going to basically explain how much better of a quality of life it is here in Thailand. Right now we are in Thong Lo, which is kind of like the Soho of Thailand. Reason number one is going to be cost of living. Assuming most of you guys are from the West, you're probably going to save at least 50% on every single expense, if not more.
This is winter season.
December and it's like 95 degrees. So the cost of the living, it's the biggest single reason. Back then, when I was living in New York City, I was spending $2,000 on rent and living with 4 other roommates. Now I live in one of the nicest neighborhoods here in Thailand for just around $500 a month. That is about the average price.
Okay, he was paying $2,000 in New York City, splitting a place with 4 other roommates. $2,000 for just his room, right? And he's got it about 500 to 600 or so for a place for him and probably his girlfriend in Thailand. There's your answer right there.
You're expected to pay here in Bangkok, Thailand for a very luxurious, modern studio or 1-bedroom right in the heart of Bangkok. And these condos are absolutely beautiful. That is the single thing that sold me on the idea of moving to Bangkok or visiting Bangkok, to be able to live like a king for just around $500 a month, which is basically impossible to do in the West. I could go on and on about the cost of living, but I think you get the point that everything here is much more affordable. So right now we're actually on our way to get some food, which brings me to reason number 2. We go over here, we're gonna be taking a right. This is one of my favorite soys to get some real authentic and cheap street food. สวัสดีครับเอาอันนี้ไก่
จะผิดหมดแต่นี้ก็หมดเหลือแต่นี้นี้
อ๋อแค่มีอันนี้แล้วก็อันนี้อันนี้หมูใช่ไหมครับ
แล้วก็ต้มยำหมู
โอเคต้มยำหมูครับ
เส้น
เส้นเล็ก
เส้นเล็กเล็กย่างนะคะธรรมดาพิเศษ
ธรรมดาค
ธ
รั
ร
บ
รมดาค่ะอันนี้อยู่ทันนี่นะ
ใช่กินที่นี่ครับขอบคุณครับ
Looking good.
Check
Making
it
me
out,
hungry.
guys. We have some tom yum pork noodles. And what did you get? This is one of my favorite street dishes, and this is only 50 baht.
50 baht.
Thai food.
Okay, pause. 50 baht is $1.44 US. Looks like that was the conversion down there. So you can see, right? You could cook and spend even less, right? Or you could eat out in healthy, great places for food for about $1.44 US the whole day. Think about that, because for example, when I was in the US, sometimes I would get like a burger from maybe like a nicer fast food place and it was almost like 20 bucks, right? Five Guys, if any of you guys know what I'm talking about. But that's sort of besides the point. What I'm saying is $20 for one meal out, or probably way more depending on where you're going, versus $1.44. You could literally eat out for any meal. You could do that. You can never cook. You can cook if you want. That is amazing. And the quality of the food is good.
I think it's my most favorite Asian cuisine. And that's coming from me as a Korean. I prefer Thai food over Korean food, which is, I don't know, call me crazy, but what I love about Thai food is that it has so many flavors and they're just so harmonious. For example, this dish, it's going to be a little bit vinegary, a little bit sour, a little bit sweet, salty, and we also have some more food here. This is a yum-based dish. And then we have the stewed pork with rice. All of this was, I think, less than 200 baht. But let's say you're not a huge fan of Thai food. Well, no worries, because everywhere around you, you see international food. I think we have the largest Chinatown here, and we have a Korean town. We have all these international franchisees like McDonald's. We have a ton of Western bars, a ton of European foods, literally everything you can think about. Thailand is definitely an international food hub. And of course it has to be, because Bangkok and Pattaya and Phuket are some of the world's most visited cities. Every day I'm just amazed at the food here, the food quality, different flavors, different options, the food delivery, and how it's only like $2 to $3 instead of like America's Uber charging like $30 for one dish, you know?
That's a good point too. I should tell you guys about that because I've been in Bangkok and have also lived in Phuket as well. Ubers in the U.S. Like I've lived anywhere from around D.C., San Francisco, Virginia, North Carolina, L.A. Right, and Ubers were like $30 one way, right? So like $30, maybe 20 if you're lucky, but probably 30. So $60 two ways, that's trash. Like let's just be real with each other, right? And I'll tell you, for example, as soon as I got to Colombia, it was about the same as the Thailand prices, right? So it's like $1 or $2 for an Uber. That blew my mind the first time that happened. And by the way, in Bangkok, they also had the SkyTrain. You can get a little ticket one way, and that's also less than $1 for a one-way ticket on the train, the very popular train there. So you're spending probably less than $2 to go one way and then back versus your $30 Uber or driving stuck in traffic. You can save so much time and just build your finances. I think you're kind of getting the point.
Wow, they almost just got in a wreck. The next point is going to be about the community and the people. Now, you've probably already heard that Thai people are very kind, very hospitable, and very nice people. I would like to extend on this by saying that it's because of the culture. And a lot of that has to do with Buddhism as well, because Buddhism is like the stronghold, is the religious stronghold of the culture, and the culture is the backbone of the society, right? So if you have good morals, then you have good culture, and if you have good culture, then you have a good society. It's like here in Thailand, I never have to worry about encountering like people that are gonna get triggered. I don't have to worry about walking on eggshells here. I can just be myself, and as long as I'm not bothering anybody, no one's gonna bother me. In America, you could be a good person and still find yourself getting into trouble with certain types of people. And as long as you don't speak badly of those in authority in Thailand, then you're good. It's just such a relief to live in a country where almost everybody's intentions are good and no one is trying to cause you harm, no one is trying to confront you for thinking differently or trying to change your mind on things. In America, where I'm from, it's just so divisive. Everybody is against each other.
Yeah.
Everybody is like on a different team. It's like me versus you. That's how a lot of it is in America. But here in Thailand, I don't really experience any of that. Sure, everybody here has their different beliefs, but at the end of the day, we're still neighbors, I feel like that's the attitude here in Thailand. And after living here in Thailand, it has done so much to my mental health and my sense of well-being, not having to deal with the consequences of bad people. We're just heading home, gonna take a little break at home. But the next point is going to be relationships and women.
Wait a minute. By the way, you can walk anywhere safely and it's pretty clean. Sure, there's parts where maybe it might be a little bit less clean, right? But you can walk anywhere without worrying about any craziness. This is coming from a guy who lived in DC. I've been in Richmond. I've been in, LA downtown, the bad part of San Francisco, if you know what I'm talking about, right? So I know what to avoid, and I know that Thailand is a good spot. It's clean. Bangkok's great. So I agree with him.
Like you. So if you guys are new to my channel, we've been dating for almost 2 years now. I already made a video about what it's like dating in Thailand and kind of the differences between dating in Thailand and dating in America. But in short, the women here in Thailand, they know how to treat you. And I'm more so speaking to the men watching right now. I think most men like the idea of a traditional feminine woman that is going to take care of you. Now, even me stating this could be seen as controversial to people in Western societies. And they will misinterpret what I'm saying as in, oh, men just want some sort of servant, when that's not the case at all what I mean. I mean, it's like a lot of men want a woman that's going to, cook for me or take care of the house or do these feminine duties. But in the West, if I even state this, I'm at risk of being canceled. So it's absolutely spun. Here in Thailand, it is still quite conservative and still quite traditional. There's a nice dynamic between masculine and feminine energy when it comes to dating here in Thailand. And by the way, what I'm saying here is not super rigid, okay? So it's it depends on each individual. But in general, the women here are just very feminine, very playful, very energizing, and just beautiful, and they just really know how to take care of you, in my opinion. But of course, you can meet the wrong type. See, she's taking care of me, As I'm recording this video, do you like guys to be to act like a man? You know, do you want a guy to be strong and to be a leader and to be confident and masculine?
I like everything you say. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like guy protect me or stronger than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything, but just don't freak me too much.
Don't fix you?
Yeah.
Oh, like don't control you?
Yeah, don't control.
Yeah. Oh, so cute.
Sabay May? Papa, did you miss us?
I just want to taste my mom finger.
Nice to meet you.
Glad to see you. Lay down.
All right, guys, just got back. The next point is going to be safety. Now, it's kind of crazy that this is actually like a luxury, you know, to have safety and that assurance that you're never going to encounter random acts of violence or crimes against you. This is like a luxury. And it's kind of like this like reverse American dream or reverse culturalism or something. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you would expect living in a first world country like America would be safer than living in a second or third world country like Thailand, where it's less developed and more impoverished, to be more dangerous. But that's actually the opposite. Isn't that like the opposite of what everybody says and what everybody would expect? And it has everything to do with the culture. It's like you can be a perfectly good, upstanding citizen in the West and still find yourself encountering random acts of violence or robbery or crimes against you. And it's like 100% not even your fault, yet it still might happen to you. Whereas in Thailand, I mean, don't get me wrong, it does happen, right? You know, I'm not gonna say it's like there's 0% crime. Obviously, there's gonna be a little bit of crime anywhere you go, but in general, it's a lot more safer. And I feel a lot more comfortable here than I do in the West, especially when I was living back in the United States. I'd see these random people pushing grandmas in front of trains, or like just like major shoplifting occurrences, these like violent protests, everybody putting things on fire. Like when people protest here in Thailand, or even in Asia, for the most part, it's like very civil, very organized. The last thing I'll say about safety is the most dangerous thing that you'll ever experience, and it's quite dangerous actually, is like riding on a motorbike. I've never gotten in an accident myself, but a lot of my foreigner friends and Thai friends have gotten in pretty serious injuries riding those motorbikes. They are going fast. And a lot of these motorcyclists, drivers, they're not really concerned about like driving safely. They just want to drive fast, you know, and most times you're not going to have a helmet as a passenger. The only thing you can do is just hold on tight and just hope for the best. Yeah, it's pretty dangerous, to be honest. I'm not gonna...
Okay, so two things there. One, yeah, sure, you can take a regular car, like a Grab, which is their Uber, or you can take a Grab bike, right, which is fine. And a lot of people do it because they're like, oh, that's faster, or some foreigners buy their own bike. And he's right. There are some people that get themselves into like an injury or some trouble doing that, right? What I would recommend for you, to be completely honest, the SkyTrain is so quick and it's under $1. So it's cheaper than your Uber ride, basically, your Grab in Thailand. Usually, right? So I would really recommend that you just take the SkyTrain. If you're in the city of Bangkok, it's so much easier and it's laid out well. It's clean, it's quick, it's under $1. Just do it. And you can avoid that whole thing entirely. And I like what he was saying about the dating part. I meant to say something there, but basically, I know what he meant. Basically, we're not trying to say we want submissive women, right? Because a lot of guys make the mistake of using that word, like, and they're like, oh, you just want a servant. No. We want a woman who's friendly, feminine, fit, yeah, of course, sure, and then supportive, kind. We can have we can have a disagreement, and it's not going to be this argument or them being combative and being a headache all the time. We can actually have a conversation like humans in a peaceful way. Because you can disagree and come to a solution in a peaceful way. It doesn't have to be this, because that's where the guys don't like it. And I'm 100% on that page with them, is if it's a headache, if they constantly want to start fights and it's a headache, no, why do I have to do that? It's just a bye. It's a see ya. You know, it's not worth it, because all we want is peace. We're very simple. So I totally agree with what he was saying.
Even speak lightheartedly about it. Papa, are you enjoying your snack? Are you enjoying your bone? And speaking of motorbikes, the next point is going to be transportation. Now, I'm specifically going to be talking about Bangkok here. It's like you can just step outside of your room and drive 5 minutes, go to a massage place, drive another 5 minutes, go to a mega luxury mall, walk 6 minutes, arrive at a very nice park, take a 10-minute motorbike, go to a very nice restaurant, and then take the metro station home, and in 20 minutes, arrive back at your house. It's very easy to live here, as opposed to like a lot of other metropolis cities, for example, like Los Angeles. You could not walk to the nearest coffee shop and then walk to a mall and then drive 5 minutes and go to like a restaurant. And the last thing is going to be about how eventful it is here and how developed it is here. Specifically with Bangkok, every day there is something going on here. And there's always people going outside, gathering, eating, doing things together. And also speaking specifically about Bangkok, it's like the most developed places here and the most developed neighborhoods here in Bangkok look even nicer than like first world countries. The mega malls they have here, the architecture, the nightlife, the restaurants and hotels. It's like, wow, they have some good taste here and they're very on trends. Popo, can you share your snack? Popo, can we have you? But yeah, this was a very short list of all the things I like about Thailand.
Yeah, it's so good. So good. I mean, I totally agree with everything he's saying. Look at that. I mean, like, all the community, all the soul that it has. It's clean. It's got nice places. You can have a gym and a nice pool in your condo or whatever, right? $500 a month, 600 maybe, right? It's so good. I don't know if you guys understand this, because there's so many people that are second guessing themselves, like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. And what I want to say to you is, if there's a bunch of other people that can do it, then why not you? That means that it should be also easy for you to do it, and you're likely creating a mental block on why you can't. I mean, look at all of what's out there for you. Are you going to keep yourself stuck? Or do you think there might be more out there for you? I'm hoping that this really helps you and you're able to get out of your comfort zone and start actually living your life. You know, maybe being able to stretch your money a little bit more, enjoy yourself, start building a community. I mean, you saw what he was saying there. One funny note about that, right, is there's a lot of people going out, doing events, enjoying themselves, happy to talk to each other. The mall culture is still there. Like the US, it's like soulless and dead, for example. Maybe some other Western countries too, I'm not sure. But like mall culture, I mean, even Latin America also in Asia is really great. So he's totally right about that. But if you guys find this message helpful, or if you know someone who's interested in this sort of thing, thank you for watching. And also send it to them. So maybe it could be a little bit of a wake up call for them too. But outside of that, you know, I appreciate you. I just started offering private consultations. If you're interested in that, there's a link in the description for you to book that. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. You got this, bro.